Welcome back to the latest episode of the Leeds Rhinos special podcast out here in Las Vegas, brought to you in partnership with Bartercard, tremendous sponsors of the Rhinos as always, but it's particularly for our trip over here to Las Vegas, and thank them for their support. Making a pretty unforgettable trip for everyone connected to the club, and one of the most unforgettable moments of the trip so far was tonight's event on Fremont Street. I'm joined by James McDonnell. James, an incredible event. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, crazy. I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced anything close to that, and I'm pretty sure I won't experience anything like that again, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, when we're going over there, Fremont Street jackets on there, we look pretty smart, but getting off the bus, I don't think anyone can anticipate what was about to happen in the next few minutes.
No, I mean, we pulled up and it was, crazy. Way over expectations, I'll be honest. I'm seeing similar stuff last year, but to live it and be there was, really, really surreal feeling. Obviously, pulling up, you see the absolute heaps of people in the crowd, like from all fans really, but them English fans are especially loud, and the Leeds and the whole fans going at it was something to see. And walking down the red carpet that day and stuff, it was a really surreal moment.
It was such a long way, wasn't it, from the bus to getting to the stage? It just seems to go on and on.
Yeah, I'm not the one to seek out the limelight, so it was kind of awkward a little bit, people holding their hands out. I think there was a couple, obviously, when you see the Leeds shirt, they hold the hand out and you give them a high five or a handshake or whatever, but there's a couple Hulky out fans with their hands out, and I was a bit dubious to give them on, because I saw they were giving some pretty rude gestures and that, but yeah, even then fans were getting on board there a bit time.
Yeah, it was great. And then a bit on stage where Hawley spoke, Ash spoke really well, I thought, and Brody Croft and Brad, just looking at that sea of people who were so excited to fly the whole event.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really good to have the Mads in our team. I think Ash is really coming to his own in this trip. Like, he's been propelled a little bit up to that stardom. I'm sure he must be feeling it a little bit with every time he's up on stage, like the entire crowd start chanting his name. I think the Aussie fans and the Aussie players were a bit taken back really with what the English fans were chanting and stuff. And I can't imagine that feeling he's having up there when he's got thousands of people chanting and stuff. So it's real good to see for him, and obviously to get them boys on stage was real good.
Yeah, just so many Leeds fans as well, wasn't there? They obviously got down there early. I'd heard reports in the afternoon about people getting there sort of 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon to make sure they had a spot right at the front. It's just, I mean, it would be great if this was happen more often, probably, but it's just so unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard several people saying they've been a queue of 5 hours to get to the front, and I didn't know what to expect to that point. But yeah, you can believe it when you see how far we had to walk and the amount of people that were there, and the people camped out on the front with the signs and stuff. Yeah, they really put the effort into get to the front.
Yeah. And it continues a fantastic week. Today was a training day as well. It a session at UFC, and then out in the field. How do things go for you?
It's good, man. I'm loving it. Obviously getting to go to the UFC facility and stuff, and that's something I know we spoke the other day, and I said, like, I want to go and see some fighters and stuff, and I actually got to meet Sean Strickland, who's like really obviously a massive figure in UFC, and like a bit of a polarizing figure, but someone who I've not followed too closely, but obviously he's already been in and around the UFC, and he loves the headlines, so he's always been relevant. So it was obviously really good to meet him. I think I was one of the ones who noticed him like first, so I managed to get a picture just me and him, and then all the other boys went in for the group photo. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Good stuff. And then pretty intense field session, ticking in the heat. It was very hot today. Probably the hottest day we've had so far.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty tough to adjust to that. I heard a rumor that there's air conditioning in the stadium, so I'll be looking forward to that. There is, but obviously to train it, you wouldn't want to become to game day having to play in that without having training it. So it's good to get it in early before the game. Yeah.
What have you made of the field conditions in particular? Also, the field in terms of the grass, everything we've got to train on.
It's been real good. Obviously, it's real dry. Like the training session, like you feel like there's no oxygen in the air a little bit, but that's obviously because of the climate. Like you do, not because you're in Las Vegas, but you do kind of forget that we're just out in the middle of the desert here, and definitely sure that you stay running around.
And the session was pretty intense. Obviously, 4 people are going to be unfortunate and not be involved. at the weekend, but I think the calibre of the people who are going to miss out shows how strong our squad is now.
Yeah, and what's real good is how them lads kind of responded. Obviously, there's lads back home who's not been fortunate enough to make the trip, but for the lads who's come, and Brad's pretty clear early in the week that his team selection who's going to be involved and who's not. It's quite black and white that stuff, which is good for them lads. They kind of get their head around it, and then it lets them really add to our training. And no one's really sulking around selection or anything. They just want to give what they can to make sure we won't get the result on Saturday. So it's been really good to see. Really, it's a very, very close-knit 21.
And what are you expecting from Saturday's game? Obviously, LKR, newly crowned world champions, are coming here on a crest of a wave.
Yeah, it kind of all builds up to Saturday. Really, it's really good for us to. I mean, it's kind of been like the start of our season is really going to be defined by games like this, and to go all the way to Vegas and to play the Robins, it's going to be really good. They've had obviously success over the last year or so, and it's going to be for me a really tough test. But I'm expecting a really intense start to the game and a real physical contest. I think that's going to win on Saturday.
And we had some really great games in Leeds last year. 3 games, 2 wins for the Rhinos. One for them at A&T Headingley. It couldn't be set up much tighter.
Yeah, I do feel like we've always had great games with them. I feel like they bring the best when we play them, and obviously I think we do the same. Like we've had some really close-knit games when it's swung in the balance a couple of times in the last 5-10 minutes of the game where it's been decided. So I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it's any different on Saturday.
You think it might take a moment of magic, maybe from last year, the try of the season scored to win that game, maybe from Lockie or from Brody or Jake comes up with a moment of magic, maybe to unlock, because it's going to be a tight one, I think.
Yeah, I think the lads you just named there, they're kind of game breakers in their own right, and like I said, like the stage is set. We're in Vegas, and it's probably going to take something on that stage to really break the game open and something to match the occasion, probably.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. You're going to get a chance to have a look at Allegiant Stadium tomorrow for a walk around, sort of a training session, as might normally expect. You're going to get a chance to familiarise yourself with the ground. Be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a pretty spectacular sight, to be honest. Obviously, hosting the Raiders in there from the NFL, and they call it home. But yeah, we drove past it a couple of times. It's a huge stadium out in the middle of nowhere almost, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to get a look at it tomorrow.
It's almost like it's been teasing us all week. We keep driving past it, but tomorrow we're going to turn right and go in and have a look at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's obviously going to be a massive state-of-the-art arena and stuff, and yeah, it's good to really get in there early and wrap our heads around what it's going to look like. I can imagine it'll be still different on Saturday when there's thousands of fans in there, but it'd be good to get familiar with it.
And the pitch dimensions are probably going to be a bit different from what we're used to, because obviously the American football fields are slightly smaller. But is that something we'll just have to adapt to? And Tilly, spacing wise, is that one of going to be the key things?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it plays an awful lot into the game. I mean, we do come up against a couple different pitch dimensions, I'd say, in Super League. Not too like dissimilar, but yeah, might be worth a mention. It might play into a little bit, but I'm sure, like we said, it's both the same for both sides out there, and they'll have to deal with it the same way we will. So I'm sure he won't play too much with that.
Mike Lewis, obviously someone who grabs the headlines for LKR, but just particularly last week. I mean, he had a great season last year, but last week in that World Cup Challenge win, it was a huge player there. Who else are you thinking will stand out for the Robins?
I think the 2 Union there, they're obviously star players for them. I think a lot goes from Mikey Lewis in terms of their point scoring. He's a great keeper, and obviously he's a great attacking threat for them. Eli Minchella, you didn't mention there, but their captain, I'm sure he'll be a massive influence on and off the field for them. I'm sure he's doing a lot of work with them to get him ready for Saturday. Same with our guys in that squad. But yeah, he's a big ball player for a 13 as well. I think a lot will go for him. So we've been all over him this week. Really, we've done a lot of video, and we've identified a lot of their threats. So we know a little bit about them, and I'm sure we'll be ready for them Saturday.
Yeah, other 4 there he quite against. We're not sure whether he's going to be involved. Dean Hadley had a big game in that World Cup Challenge. He had that fracture. We suspect the two, but he's here and he's with their group. He could be a key man either way, whether he plays or not.
Yeah, I don't know an awful lot about Dean, to be honest. Like I met him a couple of times, but can imagine from what I've seen, he'll be pushing to be starting in that game because comes across as quite a tough player, and to make the journey after the injury anyway is a feat to himself. So I'm sure if he features, he'll be fit and he'll be there to do a job.
Yeah, just finally, Brad's talked about how both teams have got a chance to really, make a statement about Super League, about our competition with a really good contest on Saturday. Is that something that the players are thinking about?
Not really in terms of making a statement for our game. I think if we go out there and when you play any of the 3 games like you mentioned last year, the OKR games, I think that would be a spectacle in itself. I think that would do good things for our game over in England. But yeah, it's not something I'm really going to play into. But I'm sure the way the week's going and the way it's building towards the game, like it's going to be a very entertaining game. It's going to be good for the fans and it'll be good for the game overall.
And just finally, obviously you've announced it a couple of weeks ago, your future beyond this season. You've got a chance to see the NRL up close and personal this week, and what an organisation that is, and that must, in the back of your mind, be excited about what's to come in the future for you.
It does, mate, yeah, which makes me kind of all the more grateful for the opportunity I'm getting now at Leeds, because obviously I want to finish this year on a massive high and silverware-wise, but also I want to be making memory with this group and this squad that we've got now. So I'm real grateful that we've got this opportunity to come out here this time, and who knows, maybe I might mount it back in the future at some point with my other team. But yeah, we'll see, man. Just trying to cherish it while I've got it there at Leeds.
Fantastic stuff. Been great to have me on. Macca, thanks for joining us again on the podcast, brought to you in association with Bartercard. As I mentioned before, great supporters of the Rhinos, in particular our time out here in Las Vegas. It'd be great to have them on board. Thanks for joining us throughout this week with the podcast. We have one more to come tomorrow as we build up to the game, and then all eyes on Allegiant Stadium on Saturday night. It'll be midnight in the UK. When we kick off 4 p.m. here in Las Vegas. It's been great to see so many Leeds fans out here. As the week's gone on, there's more and more Leeds fans coming in. It's brilliant to see all the blue and amber out on the strip here in Las Vegas. It really is a big boost to the boys. So it's not forgotten by all of us how sacrifice everyone has to make to come out here. So thank you for those who are here. If you're back home, and we really value your support as well. We're looking forward to really putting on a show on Saturday night against Holker. Hopefully it's going to be the pinnacle of the week. It's been a great week. It's been building all week, and we're looking forward to Saturday night and really putting the cap on that as we build up towards that game. And if you're over here in Vegas, stay safe, enjoy yourselves. If you're back home, thanks for your support, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.